Drills Talk, episode 135. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to eliminate financial ignorance. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Financial Ignorance. Financial ignorance is because we don't learn in school. We're not learning in K through 12. We don't really learn it in college if we go. We're not learning it at our jobs unless we're working in banking or financing, which is very rare, right? So where do we learn? We try to pick up a book, maybe, but most of the time we're just on social media and we're trying to get this financial literacy from a 15 to 30 to 60-second video, and that's just not enough. And I'm not saying that this video is going to be enough, but it's going to be a way better start than those 60-second videos or less that you're trying to get this information from. So let's get started.
It's another Drills production.
Created by the great wizard of the new world.
Drills Talk, episode 135. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to eliminate financial ignorance. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're an entrepreneurship-based channel. Every Monday, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, there's a new Drills Talk. And I also post motivational videos for you to watch whenever it is that you need them. Let's get started. Number one is to learn the value of a dollar. Do we understand the value of money? Usually we don't, right? We know what things cost. We know how much we make. Maybe we know how to budget, but we really don't understand the value of a dollar. What is the value of a dollar? You know, you ask somebody that and they really don't understand. You have to understand what it takes to get that. You have to understand what you needed to do to get that, right? Because it's not the same for everybody. You know, some people will wake up making a parents that can make $500,000. Most likely that's not us, right? So what's the value of a dollar to you? What effort do you need to put in to make a dollar for yourself? Understanding that will have you a little bit more financially literate than you were before, because you understand that in order to get this money, I need to do this. In order to get more, I need to do that, right? So just take, for instance, let's say a person that is working at a minimum wage place, and minimum wage, I don't know what it is, but let's say it's about $7.50, right? $7.50 an hour. And then they take a Uber home, right? The Uber costs $15, right? You worked the 8-hour shift and you spent $15 to go home. That's 2 hours. So you don't know the value of a dollar, right? Because if anything, if you can not spend anything, you wouldn't. And if you can spend $2 as opposed to 15 to get home on a bus or a train, then you do that because you understand the value of a dollar. But obviously that person doesn't, because they gave 8 hours of their life and then took 2 hours of it and spent it to get them home. And who knows if they may have spent 2 hours to get there. And now you're getting paid half a minimum wage to show up, you know? So people don't really think about that because they don't understand the value of a dollar. Understand what it takes for you to get it. Understand what it takes for you to keep it. That's the value of a dollar. Number two is to learn delayed gratification. Let's say we don't work minimum wage anymore. We're getting a little bit of money, right? We're on a salary job. We're feeling good about ourselves, and we go get a car that is worth more than what our salary is for the year. Why would we do that? Why do we do that? Because we have no delayed gratification. We are so used to not having, we need to have now, right? And that's a mistake, because we basically told ourselves that for the next 5 years, we're giving 1 or 2 years of our salary to this car that's going to depreciate in value, because we just don't understand. A car is not an asset. And if you want to call it an asset, make sure you prefix it with depreciating. It's a depreciating asset. And we just basically threw away 2 years of us working before taxes into this car that hopefully can last and be in tip-top shape when we finish paying it off in 5 or 6 years. Why do we do that? We have to have now. We have to get that out of our heads. We don't need to have now. What we need to have is in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. That's when we need to have. Right now, we working. You know, right now is the work time. We're young, 18 to maybe, 35. And then there's a few people who are, maybe the 35 to 50 range who are watching these videos and it's like, yo, I got to get it together. Well, if you're getting it together, it's not time to blow it on stuff that you don't need right now. You don't really need that fancy car. You don't have to get a luxury car as your first car when you first get your salary job. That's working backwards. The best thing to do would be to, delay gratification. Say, okay, I really like this model of a car, but why would I do that when I can get a serviceable car, maybe 7 to 10 to 12 grand, and those payments are not really putting a dent in my pocket at all? I can still keep the car clean. I can make it look nice, keep it, presentable, and not have a financial burden on me. That's the better decision. That's the delayed gratification decision. That's the financially literate decision. And that's the decision that we need to make. Number 3. Number 3 is to get into investing. Getting into investing while understanding the value of a dollar will make you embrace it even more. It is a long game, but we understand delayed gratification, right? But making your money work for you changes the value of that dollar, right? It makes it even more valuable because you're like, okay, well, yeah, let's say I don't make $7.50 an hour no more, but am I still gonna pay that $15 to and from work via Uber? Does that make sense? Is that $30 a day? Yeah, that's $30 a day. All right, let's say I drive to work 21, days a week. That's a lot of money. That's 600, 600 and something, $600 something dollars a month. Sounds like a car payment, Then I'll still have it for the days I'm not driving to work, sitting, for me to access and be mobile whenever I'm ready to go somewhere, right? See, we don't think about that though, because we don't know the value of a dollar. We're not very financially literate. We just know that, we can get to work quicker if we just paid $15 and took a cab there, as opposed to, taking the train or taking the bus. And we don't want nobody seeing us waiting on the bus, because we got a salary job now. We can't have nobody seeing us waiting on the bus, because we think like that. But we have to understand a little bit better, right? We have to do calculations in our head. Taking that ride share both ways just doesn't make any sense. And if we're going to do that, get yourself a car, right? Because it's more beneficial to you to have that vehicle, knowing that you're going to get a ride share to and from work anyway, right? So now it's a wash. But now you have that depreciating asset that's going to get you to and from, not only to work, but in your leisure. It's an investment. Investing in yourself, investing in your travel, investing in your ability to get from place to place, knowing the value of a dollar, understanding that investing in the long term, your money can make money. And now that dollar, in your head can be $2 in 5 years to 7 years. And then that $2 could be $4 in, 12 to 14 years, and so on and so forth. And we're talking dollars here, but you're going to be investing thousands, and those thousands upon thousands gets to 100,000s and maybe one day even to millions. But it takes patience. It takes investing and understanding and being financially literate, making better money decisions. It's just something that we have to embrace and learn. Number 4 is to break the cycle. What cycle? The cycle of not being financially literate. Who told you about financial literacy? And if this is the first step, I am honored to get you going, but you're going to teach yourself about financial literacy. You're going to present yourself with information in addition to this video to get you in a position to where not only will you be financially literate, but you can break that cycle of your family not being financially literate, your friends not being financially literate. You can be that stopper. You can be the breaker of the cycle. And we need to be, because again, we're not learning it in school. We're not learning it in college. We're not learning it at our job. Who's teaching us about money? There's not many people. People don't want you to know about money. The less people that knows about money, the easier it is for people who do know about money to make more, right? But you want to be on the right side of that equation. So understand that we need to educate ourselves and be humble enough to know that in terms of financial literacy, we have a lot of work to do. Drills Talk, episode 135. These were the top 4 ways to eliminate financial ignorance. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drill.